Sagittarius, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. And today we're going to be speaking of the Saturn transit in your sign in 2014. Now Saturn has been in Scorpio since 2013 and it's transiting a part of your chart that has to do with secrets, it has to do with addictions, it has to do with fixations, it has to do with hospitals, it has to do with prisons, institutions, fogginess, gullibility, paranormal activities, charities, and a lot of institutions, government agencies, and bureaucracies as well. Sagittarians, every time that Saturn transits a particular, and especially your 12th house, it's asking you to really let go of patterns that you've not been able to do so for the longest of time. Saturn, though, is known as the taskmaster and is looked upon with a lot of fear, and every time that it comes into a transit, every 2.5 years, there is normally, I hear a lot of people saying, oh my God, all the work has got stalled and I can't do anything, and it is happening because of the Saturn transit. While partially it is true, but Saturn also encourages you to work along with it, and the rewards that finally Saturn leaves are immense and they last you a lifetime. Saturn could be making you, for some of you, maybe brood a little bit, and I wouldn't say that it could be causing depression, but you could be really looking back at your life and saying, oh, I should have been somewhere else and this is not where I'm happy being. Or maybe you could be questioning a lot of the decisions that you could have taken for yourself, and you could be, not to say that financially you're not happy, but this really has to do about your emotional and your mental state as to where it is that you would have liked to be, or where it is that you could have been 2.5-3 years back, or you could be just sitting and questioning back on the decisions or some actions that you took. Saturn transits have been feared for centuries. The superficial reading suggests that they bring about all sorts of calamities with it. They bring dissatisfaction, they bring about sudden change, they bring about illness, they bring about depression. A lot of times I've also heard people say, that, oh, Saturn is there in my chart for 2.5 years or for 7.5 years, and this is the worst period, and I'm, whatever else is going wrong in my life, this is what it is. Saturn is to be blamed for it. So Saturn has quite a bad reputation. He is known to be this mean person, who's mean just for the sake of being mean. Now Saturn has Now what Saturn does is that it brings things to conclusion for you. So be it a part of your chart that it is transiting. So say for example it is transiting your 10th house. That's a house of, it's in the mid-heaven, it's between 9th and 10th. That's a spot as to where exactly it is. And it's a house of your career, your reputation, and how it is that you want the public to view you, your outside image, and how it is that you're viewed, your success is viewed. And when Saturn transits your 10th house, there could be some tough life lessons around moments which have to do with leadership, which have to do with your success, how it is with you that you deal with people at your work, how it is that you I think not only just deal with your success, but how it is that you deal with power, the chair which you're occupying. And there could be that you're given lots of power. Are you misusing it? What is it that you do? Do you become very selfish and miserly? However, on the other hand, if your I's are all dotted and your T's are all crossed, and you choose to work along with Saturn, that you choose to share those resources, that you choose to stay humble, and you choose to understand that power has been given to you, which could be temporary and it is not really there for your selfish gains, then success, the kind of success that Saturn brings you at that point of time, it is phenomenal. It could, it's extremely rewarding. And Saturn, before it leaves your chart, say about 2.5 years is approximately when Saturn moves each planet, and you could receive a job promotion, you could receive some professional kudos, it could be some form of a public professional recognition that could be there, a lot of accolades. So the kind of rewards that come with Saturn are really phenomenal. You could just be completely blown away with it. So the trick over here is to work along with Saturn. Part of this is also because Saturn forces us to look at our attitude, our behavior, as to how it is that we have taken certain action due to a certain perceived notion that we thought at that point of time that was right. And it could be that, whether there are some addictive patterns that are there. And addiction just doesn't speak with alcohol or with drugs. So in some cases it could be literally be that as well, but it speaks about addictive patterns as well. Are you very obsessive about certain things, or are you really finicky about the kind of relationship that you want to be in, and you just want perfection? If it is not perfection, it is not happening for you. Whether at work or whether even in personal life, it is the ideal job that you should be doing. This is not the job, or it isn't really fit the bill in your mind. So while it could be a good job, it could be taking care of your bills, it could be taking care of all your expenditure, it could be good money, but you could still be dissatisfied. You could still be thinking, no, I deserve more, and why is this happening with me, and I need to be somewhere else, maybe more grander or more greater. And Saturn could in some cases also be if there are addictive patterns like escapist qualities, like whether they turn into alcoholism or taking drugs, so that you don't have to face reality. Saturn could be bringing up those things as well on the surface. So do you tend to run away when it gets too much for you to handle, or there's too much of reality around you? Do you have a lot of escapist tendencies? So it could be overhauling this all. It has been, in fact, for the last 1 year. And it would carry on doing till December 23rd, and then it will move on to your own house, and then it will be in the second house. So a lot of opportunities, Sagittarians, for you to be breaking free of patterns that are no longer required in your life. It's a great time to be letting go of addictive patterns, of rigid notions that are not serving you any good. Also, I think whether there are any you're paranoid about certain fears, that it can be anything. It could be stemming from certain superstition that you've had since you were a child, that I know somebody who goes back or drives about 3-4 blocks and turns a car and comes back just to check whether he or she has locked the front gate. It's just, even though that person is sure that they have locked the gate, but it's just that, like I said, it could be stemming from something really deeper in your psyche, which could have become a part of you, and you may think it no longer bothers you, but it's a good time to be breaking or letting go of things that make you paranoid, or really which have no really logic behind that fear. It could be just some unknown fear. It also speaks about having more confidence in yourself, Sagittarians. It speaks about having a lot of self-worth, how it is that you value yourself, where it is that you see yourself in the landscape of life, and how it is that you want to get treated, or how it is that you treat yourself. So all these things are going to be, Saturn is going to be asking you a lot of questions around. Saturn's goal is not to beat you down, Sagittarians, but its effort is to strengthen you more. It's to make you more wise, so that later on in life, when you deal with these things in different circumstances, you're able to overcome them and lead a life which is really full and really rich. So for those of you who have not as yet begun working with Saturn, do that. You still have the entire year left. And every time that Saturn leaves a door, it always leaves a gift behind that lasts a lifetime. So this time, I'm sure, when a lot of work has got done on these areas of your life, Saturn for sure will support you and leave you a gift. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and thank you so much for watching. I'll speak with you soon.